Ladies and gentlemen, let's waste no time. It's time to crack open the Freeloader Challenge.
Nice.
My original goal for this series was to make enough money online to afford a not quite condemned crack house in the slums. As the true fans know, my coffers now sit at about $50,000, and I could finish this challenge now if I wanted to. But I recently decided to increase my goal from a $50,000 crack house to a $100,000 crack mansion, because money is imaginary and freeloaders deserve the best. I'm halfway to my new goal, and I'm not taking my foot off the gas. Except that's kind of a lie. I did take my foot off the gas in the past 30 days and used my freeloader income between episodes to pay my taxes and buy a feast of Thai food. Some of the most committed freeloaders among you will say that this is blasphemous, but I remind critics that while I was enjoying a grilled Thai meat platter with my family, you were playing online blackjack at home by yourself. Let's get on track here. We're kicking off this episode with a flat $50,000 in the coffers, $21,000 of which is in the broker Moomoo, where I am adding stock trading to the freeloader repertoire. I've learned that many of my fellow freeloaders on Discord do not invest at all. You just pile cash in a 0% interest bank account. This is unacceptable, and I want to be your guide to responsible reinvestment of your freeloader gains. Let's open the broker. With $21,000 in the account, I've got flexibility, but I'm already getting 5.1% APY on my cash balance. For new accounts, that's bumped to 8.1% for the first 3 months. I do not need to get aggressive with my trades, and I will leave most of my balance in cash. But I also want to buy indexed ETFs. In the last episode, I gathered $5,361 to buy shares of QQM. Today is September 18th, and Jerome Powell is delivering the news on the Fed's interest rate today. I'm going to buy these shares before he speaks, because it's going to be a lot harder to make this video if I wait any longer. In preparation to do that, it's time to cash in my Moomoo points for a discount on the shares. I've saved up about 34,000 Moomoo points from doing these daily login challenges, and now is the time to redeem them. With these points, I can get merch, shares, or cash. New users can get good rewards from the new arrivals section, but of course I'm not a new user. We scroll down a bit and I can cash these points for Amazon gift cards or fractional shares of AMD or Microsoft, which is tempting. I've also got the option to get these Moomoo dolls, and have done so in the past. People do buy these things and they could be worth something someday, but I think for the investing mission, I'm better off taking cash. If I scroll down further still, you can see the best return ratio is really on the 7,800 points for $5 voucher, which is 1,560 points per dollar. I can get 4 of these coupons with my points balance. When I buy QQM shares later today, 4 of those shares will effectively be $5 off. That's a nice little perk. When I go to my coupons list, I see that I've unexpectedly got 2 more coupons for $100 and $20. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where these came from, so they must have been a while ago, but I'm not gonna complain. Let's buy my shares of QQM. For $5,361, I can get about 27 shares for $195 each. I'll buy 5 individually so that my $5 coupons and $20 coupon apply. And then there's this $100 coupon that requires a $1,000 spend. So I'll buy the rest of the shares in one shot. Cumulatively, this is $140 that will be returned to my cash balance. This is why Moomoo is a good broker for my freeloader challenge. For investing novices, what I just did is all you need to do to retire rich. Buy shares of an indexed ETF. If your broker offers you some free shares or cash here and there like Moomoo does, take advantage of those. But you do not need to trade options at all. I personally like to put some extra wind in my sails by selling options. For the advanced traders, Theta Gang strategies are an asset to your trading plan. On Moomoo, I recently applied for level 4 options. Now I can trade my preferred option strategy, which is the short strangle. I'll link my video on short strangles in a card. In the last episode, I tried to open one, but was still waiting for my last deposit to clear, and so I could not open the position. If I had, I'd be up about $540 right now. But that's just part of the game. I'll have more opportunities, like today. My rules for short strangles are simple, and they're derived from the research at Tasty Trade. 1. Sell short strangles on SPY when VIX is at least 18, preferably 20. 2. Sell options expiring in 60 days. 3. Sell at the 16 delta strikes. And 4. Take profit at 50% gain or 100% loss of the premium collected. Obeying these rules might mean that you only trade 10 times per year, but the success rate is very high. I'll link my short strangles video for those interested. Right now, VIX is just above 18, which is the minimum volatility I'm willing to sell strangles at. I prefer VIX above 20, but I really want to open this trade before JPow speaks, so I'll proceed now. Today is September 18th, so I will open the options chain, and I typically want to sell at expiration 60 days out. However, we've got the presidential election on November 5th, and I don't want any shenanigans to interfere with my position. So instead, I'll select as close as I can get, which is the memorable date of Halloween. I'll start by selling a put at the 16 delta, which is the $530 strike, and I'll collect a little over $350 premium. For the call side, I will likewise go to the 16 delta, and the closest I can get is the $590 strike. I'll sell a contract at $590, and I'll collect about $182 premium. In total, this will give me around $513 premium, and my break-evens are approximately $595 and $525. The only thing that can mess this up for me will be JPow coming in with no change to the interest rate. The market is largely expecting 25 or 50 basis points, and as long as one of those things happen, I'll be in great shape. If everything goes according to plan, I'll close at 50% gain long before Halloween. Let's stand by for Jerome.
Supporting maximum employment and returning inflation to our 2% goal. Today, the Federal Open Market Committee decided to reduce the degree of policy restraint by lowering our policy interest rate by a 0.5 percentage point. This decision reflects our growing confidence.
I really thought it was going to be 25 basis points, but 50 is fine. The market shot up and then came back to flat, which bodes well for me. So far, my position is up $44. I'll hold while I aim for a 50% gain of $260. This is by far my preferred way of trading. A solid base of indexed ETFs with some options on top of it are what works for me. This is how I trade in my actual portfolio with Merrill Edge, and I'm happy that I can now integrate it to the Freeloader challenge as well. If you want to follow my trades more closely, join Patreon at the Auditor tier, and you'll get my portfolio updates and posts. If you want to get on Moomoo yourself, use my referral link to get up to 15 free shares and an 8.1% APY on cash for the first 3 months. Make sure you claim your free shares in the Task Center once your deposit clears. These investments are a good start, but I have a long way to go to buy my crack palace. Let's hit the Freeloader streets and earn some more cash. The first approach is one that you guys have seen before, but the significance of which cannot be overstated. We're spinning on Sweepstakes Casinos. Anyone who can access these platforms should do so. Let there be no ambiguity here. Every Sweepstakes Casino is free to play, and you can win real prizes as cash to your bank account. This is not a marketing gimmick. I mean that almost every Sweepstakes Casino will give you between 10 cents and $1 per day to log into the platform. If you log into all of them, you're looking at about $15 a day in about 10 minutes. You don't ever need to spend money on these platforms if you don't want to. They are legitimately free to play. As you might imagine, this has been a major contributor to the Freeloader challenge. I won't dwell on that here, but we can talk more about it on Discord. I'm going to try to cover more depth on one of these Sweeps Casinos in each episode. In this one, I want to look at the platform Crown Coins, which is sponsoring this video. Crown Coins has recently buffed its platform and has been running special events frequently. They did one for the Olympics, and they're doing one for Oktoberfest, and I expect they'll do a lot more around the holidays. Crown Coins is probably the platform where I spend the largest amount of time, and that's due to 3 factors. One, it has a rewarding VIP system in which those login bonuses I talked about prior increase with each level. And it's one of the few platforms where gold coins, which have no dollar value, will still boost your VIP. 2, it has daily challenges that boost your winnings. For example, if you play 50 spins on a certain game that day, you receive an additional 1 SC, which is redeemable to $1. And if you complete larger challenges, you'll often receive free spins, Plinko balls, or other bonuses. I always try to finish these whenever possible. And 3, they do those frequent promotions in which your buy-ins are boosted by as much as 20%. My preferred way to play is to play small spins with as small as 10 cents or even 5 cents per spin, minimizing the variations in my results. But every player will have his or her own preference. In addition to daily login rewards, Crown Coins also occasionally offers promotion codes to their followers on social media, giving you that additional avenue for participating. But I want to reiterate, do not look at this as gambling. Login bonuses are an entirely risk-free way to participate, and I diligently log into all of my platforms each day to receive the bonuses, and I receive redemptions straight to my bank. For example, on Golden Hearts, I have never spent a single dollar and have redeemed hundreds of dollars in winnings without spending money. This is what I mean when I say these platforms are free to participate. There is no reason you can't do this as well. I took my foot off the gas a little bit in August and used the winnings from that month to pay taxes and buy a feast. In September, I'm aiming for $4,000 in total gains across all the platforms, and I'm on track for it as of September 18th. Any gains from this will go straight to Moomoo to collect that good APY. I'll roll up my September total in the October episode. For the rest of this video, we're gonna get away from the typical methods of sweepstakes casinos, focus groups, and all that other ran through stuff. We'll get back to that in a later video. This time, we're gonna try out a little bit of a new method. We're flipping industrial equipment. I'm talking expensive stuff that we get on the cheap, so that almost all of our sale price is profit. But how is this possible? We're using a pair of Discord servers that I won't say the name of here because they don't want me to, but you can find them in the pinned comments of my own server's Freeloader channel. On these servers, users can receive free or very low-priced Amazon items, many of which require reviews, but some do not. You can get anything from phone chargers to mini houses. In the past, I've tried flipping phone cases and chargers, but it took 3 months to liquidate 3 cases at $5 each. The resale market of iPhone accessories is just not that thick, and the payouts are minimal. I needed something better. Some of the highest end items are things like dehumidifiers, electric bikes and scooters, and industrial equipment. But even though I can get these $500 items for $75, $75 is not free, and I don't want to be inventorying a bunch of electric generators. I need to make sure my local area has demand for these things. So I did some market research, and I'll admit this is a little bit slimy. I posted items for sale that I do not have just to make sure that there is demand. And the demand for used dehumidifiers and e-scooters is way higher than I expected. I had more people trying to buy these things, and I had to tell them that someone else had dibs and I'd call them back if the buyer didn't show. In reality, I didn't even have the item. I disappointed a lot of people, but my market research was complete. It was time to go in on industrial capacity dehumidifiers and Cat 6 cables. Over on the Freebies server, I contacted agents who work on behalf of Amazon merchants to coordinate the sale. I paid $500 for some dual piston dehumidifier thing with a 30-day money-back guarantee from Amazon. I received the item, hooked it up, and gave an honest review on Amazon, and was reimbursed the full $500 by the seller via PayPal, making my total buy-in just the tax amount of $25. If the item was not a 5-star item, I would have sent it back and left a negative review to collect my regular Amazon refund, just like I've done before. But this dehumidifier worked fine, so I posted it for sale at a discount from the Amazon price. In the first 48 hours, I had a buyer who came to my house to pick it up. My profit was $350. I then did something similar with a box of 1,000 feet of Cat 6 cable and made $100 profit. Correction, the $100 buyer ended up not showing, so I sold it to another guy for $60 instead. Something about counting your chickens before they hatch. Total gain is therefore $60 instead of $100. This one was nice because it didn't require a review, only a rating, and this cable was perfectly deserving of 5 stars. The pros of the strategy are 1, favorable risk to reward, since you can always send the items back to Amazon if you have issues selling them. 2, you get cash back on the initial purchase price, so this is good for credit card churning as well. 3, you don't have to be 18, as long as you can use an Amazon account and a payment method. And 4, you can do this outside the US, since one of the servers has items for other countries. The cons are, 1, you have to research demand in advance or you'll have a long sales cycle. 2, you have to store the items while you sell. And 3, you need a history of Amazon reviews before you can work with higher end items. You'll have to start with cheap stuff and develop an Amazon profile first. If you've already been reviewing items you normally buy, then you can skip this step. Overall, this flipping strategy is pretty dank. I will use my profit of $450 to buy 2 more shares of QQM on Moomoo. And finally, here's a sneak peek from the future. And it is a little crazy, but I'm working on the next Freeloader move. I asked my 4-year-old, I said, "Becky, I need ideas. How can we make money without doing work?" She said, "The Tooth Fairy," which I thought was genius. But I said, "Becky, where are we gonna get all the teeth?" She thought for a minute, and she said, "We can go into the woods to find dead animals and take their teeth for the Tooth Fairy." I was proud that she was thinking so enterprisingly, but also a little bit concerned. Nonetheless, I think she's onto something here. We're going to sell materials that leverage the supernatural. Specifically, I'm going to sell voodoo dolls that I guarantee do not have souls in them. These are workable materials for necromancy, witchcraft, and all kinds of other hippie bullshit. It's a fun idea, but can I achieve sales? We're going to find out. I've started making some voodoo dolls now, and hopefully by the next episode, I'll at least have a few sales to showcase. It is almost Halloween after all. Rolling up my gains for this episode, assuming I achieve my target sweepstakes gain, my total returns for this episode are $4,000 from counter gambling, $140 from Moomoo cash coupons, and $450 from item flipping. In the next episode, I will roll this $4,590 gain over to Moomoo and keep this freeloader gravy train rolling. I'm about 54.6% of the way to my crack mansion. Make no mistake, it is coming. Join our free Discord to get in on this mission yourself, and I will see you in the next video.